morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Lydia's Life After 50 TV. I know, guys, I have been on a roll these last few days. I have been feeling very inspired, and so I'm coming and bringing another video today. It is Monday, and guys, I am at home today. And normally I would be deep in paperwork at work today, but I decided to take a day off. I needed to handle some medical things, and usually when I take time off to go handle personal things for myself, I try to go back to work. I'm always feeling like I'm leaving my staff short if I'm not present, but somebody had to remind me that sometimes I have to take care of me, and oftentimes I'll go to work in pain or I go to work sick when I should just relax. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm not going to feel guilty about this personal day because I give time back to the company every year because I don't use up my personal time. So with that being said, hello everybody, good morning, and I hope your day has started off okay. I am actually drinking a cup of coffee today. I'm limiting my coffee, but someone reminded me that I don't have to give up everything. So I'm having a cup of coffee this morning, and I hope that you all are fabulous. And so today, based on some comments that I've gotten off of videos, let me take a sip. Oh, that's so good. I felt like I needed to leave this video, and I'm entitling this video What I Know for Sure. Reason being that I get a lot of comments, and I would say 95% of the comments, or let me just take it up a little further than that. 98% of the comments are very, very positive, very, very supportive, but you're going to always have that 2%, 1 to 2%, that's just going to come in and say some crazy things. I know that this platform does open you up to negative, comments and negative people, trolls, and all of that. So we do know that. But sometimes the comments are comments that I feel need to be addressed. So what I know for sure, the reason why I feel that I am in a position to share my advice, or I would say inspiration or encouragement, because I don't necessarily term it as advice. I term it as encouragement. I term it as inspiration. It's because of the plethora of experiences that I've had in my life. And although I know there's many people that have shared and have been through some similar situations, probably worse, and more. But everybody has their own divine purpose, their own divine walk. And this happens to be mine. And I knew this years ago. I did not realize when I was a kid that I was being shaped and molded into being this person, because I was a pretty shy little girl. And well, I don't term it really shy. Some people say it was shy, but I term it more or less I was quiet, because my life took me through so much that I had a protection field, I would call it. I would go into my bubble, and inside that bubble, it protected me from what I had to experience, things that I had to see in my life. Now, I am not sharing every little detail of the things that I actually went through when I was growing up on this particular channel. I actually started writing a book probably 6 years ago, and I stopped writing it probably 3 years ago, which one day I hope to finish it. I'm not sure if it's even going to be something I'm going to try to publish, but I do feel that I want it to be in book form, maybe just to leave it for my children and my great-grandchildren, grandchildren on down, so they can know a little bit about that matriarch in their family, because I do consider myself that person. I have experienced some things that would make your hair stand up. And I've been through a lot, guys. So I've overcome a lot. So with that being said, what I know for sure is that I have inspiration, I have encouragement, and words that can help you to think about where you're going with your life, and if you find yourself in similar situations, looking at maybe how I dealt with some things, how I overcame things, and how I keep myself encouraged. This morning I posted on Facebook because I try to do a couple days of inspiration. I do it either on Facebook or Instagram. Of course, Instagram is a little social for me as well. I do a lot of my social activities there. It's not more so a platform that I deemed as for encouragement, but I do actually put it there. But I do a lot of that on Facebook as well. And I talked about how you have to reinvent yourself. And oftentimes when we are going through so many challenges in life and so many ups and downs in life, that we get so used to being in that situation as that's all we know. So it's easier to wallow in that rather than seek out ways to fix it or get out of it. You know, oftentimes I see a lot of my friends and or family will post things on social media about what they're going through. And it's okay. You know, a lot of people feel comfort in finding just an objective ear, you know, people to bounce off of, to vent to. And oftentimes you will get good encouragement from that. But oftentimes I kind of cringe at knowing that people can get caught up in wallowing in self-pity, and they'll continue to just talk down upon themselves and woe is me factor. I'm just, you know, in this bad place and I can't do nothing. Everything I do is horrible. And, you know, every time I try, it just goes wrong. And nobody loves me. Nobody cares what I'm going through. Nobody's checking up on me. Nobody this, nobody that. And your mind is designed to believe whatever you tell it. It's just like whatever you feed your body, whatever you put in your body for nourishment is what keeps this machine working. That's what I call it. It's a machine. So if you put only things in your body that is not good for you, eventually guess what happens? It's going to break it down. So when you feed it things full of energy and nutrients, it's going to build it up. It's going to give it strength. It's going to make it flourish. And that's the same way with the mind. If you're talking down upon yourself all of the time, you're always telling yourself how bad you are. You're too fat. You're too ugly. You don't, you know, you're not doing well in life. You're not making any money. You know, you have no friends. Don't no man want you. If you continue to tell yourself that every single day, this mind here is going to accept that because that's what you're feeding it. That's what you're telling it. So I had to learn a way to counteract that because I had all of that growing up. It was like at a point in my life when I was a minor and I was still living with my parents, I didn't have a source of an outlet or place to go where I could, you know, find comfort in being able to fix myself. So all I fed myself was this negative because it was just coming at me from every direction where I lived, people I knew, the household I grew up in, some of the friends I had, you know, not having my father to actually nourish me and raise me and teach me things. Even though we kind of, you know, converse from time to time, he just wasn't there. So I just had all of that on me. So going out, and I left home at 18, I was determined. I was out. At 18, I was out. And I left home with a lot of baggage, just a lot of negativity stuff on me. So, you know, I kept going through that for a number of years, you know, even through having my first child, I was just still full of negative stuff. And having a child is what set me on this course of changing, because not only did I have to live for myself, I had some little life that I was responsible for, that I had to make sure and ensure that I gave it the best opportunity and chance at life. And even as a young mother, at 21 is when I got pregnant, and gave birth at 22. I still was very relatively young, you know, still trying to find out who I was, trying to become something, do something with my life. So I made a whole lot of mistakes just trying to do that and raise this young boy, you know, trying to make sure he was a man, you know, and his father was not very active in his life, even though we didn't have a horrible relationship. We just wasn't together. And then he went off to the military and he just wasn't there. So I made a lot of mistakes, guys, and I had to learn the hard way of how to maneuver through life. And when I finally started to get it, I realized that if I put more effort into saying things that was going to help elevate me, or having a positive outlook on life, and determine that I'm not going to stay here. I was homeless once, and I lived in my car for a brief period of time. And when I did that, and it was cold, guys, I said to myself, it was probably maybe about a good 2 months that I lived out of my car, and because I was actually sleeping on friends' sofas and things like that. I said to myself, this is not going to be me. I am not going to be this person. So when I started to actually tell myself that I'm changing this, this ain't staying this way, I'm going to do better than this, this is not how I'm going to end up. I'm strong, I'm smart. When I started telling my things that, it was a shift happened within me. And it caused me to realize that positive talking to myself shifted the way that this mind thought. I changed from telling it negative things and what I couldn't do to what I was going to do. And so that is the way you have to reinvent your thinking. You have to feed it things that's going to help it to change and to flip, because the mind is this intricate machine here, and you have to feed it. You have to oil it and give it the nourishment it needs in order for it to develop and to actually grow and start trying to work. And when it starts turning and working and you start getting powerful, you can make mountains move, guys. I'm not telling you that you're going to become rich, because people define richness in all different kinds of ways. I look at myself and I tell myself I'm rich. I'm developing things in my life now so that I can even feel more powerful than what I am now. I don't plan on living my life being surrounded by all this negativity forever. All of this corrupt government. And I'm going to change some things in my life. And you guys know I've been kind of giving you hints and clues as to where I'm going with this. But what I know for sure is that you have to determine in your mind that your present situation is not going to be how your outcome is. When you don't do that, you continue to be consumed with your sadness, it's going to keep you in that state of mind. And I know people do suffer from depression. People do suffer from anxiety. It was a time in my life when I used to have panic attacks. And I never understood where it came from. But I knew that I wanted it to stop. I knew that I did not want to be this woman that couldn't enter into certain spaces without feeling the walls closing in on me and sweating profusely, heart beating and palpitating like this, feeling the need to rush out of a building because I felt like the walls were closing in on me. And I realized that later that my life was so unorganized and being responsible for little beings. And I knew that I had to find a way to make it happen, because I didn't have anyone that was going to make that happen for me. Now, my faith was strong enough, and I'm actually wearing my shirt today that says faith over fear. My faith was strong enough, and it doesn't have to be some big, elaborate faith. You just got to have it just a little bit to say that I'm going to make a difference. This is not going to be my outcome, because I knew that I had something more to live for. You may not have children, and you may not feel like that, but live for you. I speak to my women who are in really horrible relationships, and my heart goes out to you, because I've been there, done that. Got the t-shirt when I was married, and I had to work on getting to that place where I was not gonna be in that situation. And because I had 3 little children when I was married, It took me a little while because I had no outlets. I didn't have that option of, let me move back home and my mom gonna help me until I can get on my feet. I had to figure it out for myself. I had to figure out how I was gonna supply everything I needed for these children, where they were gonna live and all of that. Making sure that they had the health care, they could go to school, all of that. So this girl went to work. I worked 2 jobs full time at a point in my life. And then I actually took on a 3rd job at one point. And it was like, just sporadically around that schedule. But I was a working little lady. I'm going to tell y'all, I was a working little lady. And so I got my life to a point where I could actually balance things. And I have to say that I'm proud of myself because I never had to turn to the government. And I'm not putting anybody down for doing that, because you got to do what you got to do when you need to. But I was determined that I wanted to walk on my 2 feet, and I didn't want to put my kids in neighborhoods, which in our area of the region of the country, that a lot of times you have to depend on the government to place you in housing, it could be in some very, very dangerous areas. And I was determined that my children wouldn't live that way. I wanted them to go to good schools. I wanted them to live comfortably. So I worked to make sure I provided that for them. And that is how I did it. The mind is powerful. You got to constantly feed it positive things. If you don't know people that are positive, if the people that you live with are negative, if your friends are negative, guys, I encourage you. You're going to have to seek out some places and spaces where you can get it. Go to the library. If you don't know people, go to the library. I actually watch so much on the internet. The internet is a wonderful thing. That is one technology that I hope never goes away, that we'll always have, so that we can actually educate ourselves on different things and learn about different cultures and stuff like that. So sometimes I will sit for hours and just look up things and watch and read books and inspiring, stories of people who have overcome hard times, affirmations. I do that so that my mind can continually be fed positive stuff. And people will call me different, and they will call me strange. I even get it throughout my family. And it's okay, guys. I like it. It's a compliment. You have to determine what your life needs to look like for you. You have to determine where you want to go with this life. And although we do know things can alter your life, like sicknesses, we do know that happens. But I have seen some people who are on their deathbeds, people who suffer from like cancer and they're in stage 4, have some of the most powerful outlook on life. That's called self-motivation, guys, because they have a will to live. So no matter even if they don't live a very long time, I think that will is what kept them going. So you have to try to shift that mindset. And if you need to seek out help, guys, I'm not deterring you from that, because some people are stronger than others. Some people's strength level and their ability to handle situations and troubles are stronger than others. It's just the nature of our makeup, and I feel that I was one of those people. And I was determined after my sister was killed that I would not fall to domestic violence with a man, because I grew up in it in my home. And to be able to take that, I was not going to take that toxic behavior into my life, my love life. And I was determined that wasn't going to happen. And that's probably why I've not had some of the best relationships, or because they've ended because I was not going to allow men to abuse me mentally, physically, or emotionally. And that was me. So I encourage you to take some time off and just actually figure out your weaknesses and your strong points, and then you need to accentuate those strong points. You got to be able to help yourself so that you can help your weak side. And guys, whatever you do, please make sure that you talk to yourself positively. Stop telling yourself you're no good. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough for someone, or you don't look as good as someone else. It's somebody out there it's out there for you. Somebody loves you just the way you are. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to change yourself to look like someone else. Now, if you're working on yourself just because you want improvement in who you are, that's fine. But stop trying to be like the celebs of the world, or these people that we put up on these pedestals and things like that. Just be you 100%. I'm me 100% all the time, every single day, and I love it. I love myself more every day. So when I get up in the morning, if I'm having a bad day, I just try to shift my thinking and try to think about what the end of that day gonna look like for me, so that I have something to look forward to. And I try to talk to myself positively. So that's why I went ahead and took this day today, because I was just like, you know what? I got things I need to do today, and I'm in a little bit of pain. So therefore, I'm not gonna go to work after this, because I'm not gonna go to work and feel bad. I gotta think about myself sometimes. So I hope that lets you know what I know for sure. And what I know for sure, I share with you guys, because I want you guys to be able to know for sure in your life as well, the things that's gonna help you to grow. Everybody has their own personal walk and where they're trying to go, guys. And make sure you find out what that course is to get you there. And that's all I have today, guys. I hope that you will have a fantastic day, guys. Y'all excuse my hair. I got up this morning in the shower and I just ran the water through it. It felt so good. I ran the water through it and just getting the moisture in it and just chilling for right now. I got to get out of here in the next hour. So have a fantastic day, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, guys, even the good and the bad comments that I receive sometimes, and I just appreciate it, because all it does is motivate me to keep going and to keep inspiring and to keep encouraging. So you all have a wonderful day. Peace and love.